So in this video, we're going to be looking at going out to the public platform as a medium. I'm Charlie Kelly, and this is Masterclass. So I've tried to do 10 do's and don'ts when we're first starting out on the public platform as a public demonstrator in the acts of mediumship. Number one, try different techniques. There's a lot of debate going on in the spiritual community, especially where mediumship and the public platform is concerned, whether we should go direct. So I have a lady here, she comes across as mum and she passes of cancer, and I want to go to the gentleman at the front here, being direct mediumship. Or I have a lady here and I know that I feel that she's with mum and I know that she passes of cancer, so on and so forth, you get it. Who understands that? I feel like I'm in that area or at the back of the room. Try different techniques and see which one works best for you. And it's also good to mix it up to keep audience retention, keep their concentration, and keep them involved in your evening of mediumship. Number two, always make sure that you're with the spirit world. A mediumship platform is not a place for psychic work. You know, I feel that you're having a bit of a rough ride right now. Life's not treating you so well. Your relationship's a little bit damaged. That's the psychic faculty, and we don't want to be doing psychic. Make sure that you check your energy all the time, that you're with the spirit world. Number three, it's okay to get it wrong. So even if it's going round and round in your mind, when you're first setting out, stepping foot onto your first platforms, you've got to accept that you're going to get it wrong sometimes, and that you're going to make mistakes or misinterpret. You're nervous and you're just about to hit that platform. Then make sure that you still say it, and if you get it wrong, then just clear it up later on. Number four, which leads me straight into getting it wrong anyway. So always clear up your no. So once you've got your foothold within your communication, anything that wasn't understood, you can just ask the communicator once again, why did I get that wrong? And I promise you that the spirit world will be giving you all the information that you need to make sure their voice is heard in the correct manner. Number five, it's always good to be very clear with what you're saying. The problem that you're going to encounter as your name is building as a public demonstrator is people will think you're fishing or you are cold reading. What we need to do is silence that skeptic and be very clear with what we're saying. Don't leave it open for a million different interpretations. And I see this happen all of the time on all of the public platforms that we're doing. So make sure that what we are saying is a statement, and make sure it is given very clearly so the audience and the recipient know exactly what it is that you are saying. Which leads me nicely into number six. Always get a response after every statement. So what we see out there at the moment is 3-4 minutes of conversation, and then right at the end they ask, do they understand that? And they may understand that last bit of the statement, and therefore they agree to the entirety of what has been said. So after every statement, you'd understand that your dad smokes cigarettes. Yes. You would also understand that he drove a lorry for the last 15 years. Yes. Don't mix them all into one and then offer it out as a complete package. Get a response every time. Let everyone know that you're in communication with the spirit world. Now, one of the hardest things to do is to let your personality out. I mean, it's very difficult here on camera to get my personality across, but more so in front of an audience, especially when you're stepping out there for the first few times. We're very nervous and we don't know what we're going to do or how the evening's going to go, and do I look all right? Is my hair okay? All of this kind of stuff starts to dilute the mind. So what we need to do is develop a mask or get into character almost to get your personality out, let everyone know who you are and what you're about, and then the allowance or the freedom of your mind can express the spirit world in the best way possible. Number 8, we need to make sure that we're with the right recipient. So if we're a little bit unclear, or we've still got one or two people trying to fight over taking the communication, my advice to you is not to give the message. We need to be 100% sure where that message is going and that it's going to the right person. And the reason for this is the responsibility that comes with a message. We don't know what it is that we're saying, and we need to appreciate what's going on in the mind of the recipient, in their reality, in their world. So make sure that we're always 100% sure that the information given is going to the right person. Number 9, this is quite obvious, this one. You've got to be confident. You've got to let your audience know that you're in control, and you're in control of your evening, you're in control of your mediumship, the communication, the way it's coming into your mind and being presented. Just be confident. You've made the public platform because you're ready to make the public platform. You're ready to go out there. Your skill set in your mediumship is at a point where you can take it to a public level. So be confident with it. Don't let the hang-ups or the previous failings or misunderstandings cloud any kind of judgment on yourself. Be confident. They've come out to see you. That's why the venue's full. That's why they're there that evening. Just stand in that power and deliver your mediumship in the best way possible. And number 10, one of the most important ones for platform demonstrations of mediumship. You need to be prepared. You need to understand what the dress code is, which in most cases you should be dressed for the occasion. It's a very important job or role that you're taking on. You're going to be working with people that have left the physical world, and you don't want to be standing up there in a tracksuit and a beanie hat and scuff trainers or anything like that. You need to be presentable. You're in the public. You're the ambassador for a spirit world in any given moment. So be prepared. Also be prepared that if you need to create a reading or pick a reading, do you need to do philosophy? Do you need to do an inspirational talk for 15 minutes? You need to understand what it is that you're going into so you can be best prepared, so your mind is in the best place possible to work for the spirit world. So we've covered some of the do's that we do within our public demonstration of mediumship. Now we need to cover some of the don'ts. Number 1, no guides. Never give off guides from a public platform. It looks wrong, and there's no evidence involved in that. If I'm giving a recipient a nun or a typical red Indian, that kind of stuff, we don't need to be seeing that on a public demonstration of intelligent communication. It's just the mindset. And some people will accept it, some people won't. It's just best to avoid it on the public level at all times, simply because it cannot be proven as an evidential statement. Number 2, always dress for the occasion. I know we covered that a little while ago in the do's, but you do need to be putting into your mind exactly what it is that you're going out to. If you're going out to quite a prestigious venue, or well, any venue is prestigious if you're working in a church or on a church platform, make sure that you're dressed for the occasion. Even if it is just a shirt or a tie, where you look presentable. Don't turn up with food stains down you or some overstretched jumper. I mean, shirts are pennies now in some of these places. Make sure you've got a fresh pressed shirt with a tie when you're going out into the public arena. Number 3, one of my pet hates is chewing. Do not chew gum while on a public platform. It looks terrible, and many people chew when they're very, very nervous. So I understand why they do it, and they can burn the nervous energy with chewing gum. But once your evening starts, or you're about to get up and be a fledgling, as they call it, to start their communication, get rid of that gum. Spit the gum out, leave it in the bin, do something. Just do not work with that gum chomping around in your jaws while you're presenting the spirit world. Number 4, another very important one, because it's law: no medical conditions whatsoever. And what I mean by that is that you don't want to be diagnosing or telling people to take pills or any kind of remedy or lotions. Just stay well clear of it, just to avoid any repercussions that you may find coming your way if you are doing that on a public level. So absolutely no medical with the client whatsoever. Just stay well clear. Another one that we see a lot of here in the UK is that some of the mediums try to get round to every single person in the congregation, within the audience. I mean, I've even had chair people say to me, hopefully you'll get round everyone tonight, and there'll be 40 people in front of me at some little church that I'll be serving. Just do not attempt it. Do not try to do it. It's absolutely ridiculous. And what we need to do is that we need to get across the communication in the regulation or within the time slot that's required. Now, there's nothing worse than getting up and doing 90 seconds to 2 minutes of alleged communication with one person and then spending 20 minutes with another. So in your public presentation, we tend to try and keep this to about 7 to 10 minutes. And if you're doing a 60-minute, 70-minute demonstration, you're going to get through, say, 5, 6, 7 kind of communications there. So keep your format. Don't fall to the pressure of there's 20 people here, try and get to all 20. Stick to your training, stick to your regulation, and the communication will come across in the best way possible. And it's just unfortunate that you can't get round to everyone. Next one on the list. Do not disrespect your audience or the spirit world. It's very easy to get into a slanging match, especially if you've got a heckler or you're trying to be funny when you're up there, and it will just come across wrong. This takes a lot of practice or a lot of training to be able to get your personality out in such a way. Now, and you also have to remember there will be localized cultural differences there. So what is deemed funny in London will not be deemed funny in Edinburgh or Glasgow. So you need to understand the audience that you're going into. So it's always best just not to try and be funny in the first place. Learn your skill set. Don't disrespect the audience, and certainly don't disrespect the spirit world. Another one I see out there on the platform is that they are telling me, they are showing me, and then they come across with some form of statement there, but actually the spirit world are not actually doing it. So never say the spirit world are giving you something if they are not. Be true to yourself. It's a very humble time there. It is a magical place to work and be. So don't disrespect it in a way that you're trying to present it or package it in the way that you want it to be done, because it will look good or it comes across as funny. Never say it's the spirit world if it is not the spirit world. Another one that we've all seen and we've all picked out, never make a statement so generic that it can almost fit everything. Equally, do not make a profound statement, one that's very detailed, and then change that statement because the client has spoke up, and make it fit. Understand that you've been working with your mediumship for a little bit of time now. Well, I hope so anyway, because you're going onto a public platform. But try to be so specific and detailed enough that it can't be moved or it can't be manipulated in any way. And what we see a lot out there is quite a generic statement then made fit in some way that it will be accepted by your recipient. It looks weak and it won't do your reputation any good as a platform medium. Another thing I see a lot out there on the platform is the spirit world being blamed for absolutely everything. Your life might be a little bit difficult right now. Spirit's testing me, Spirit's sending me lessons. The spirit world did this to me. The spirit world told me to do that. The spirit world do not tell us to do anything at all. They never make things happen. They never do things that will cause us any kind of problem. So never blame the spirit world silently there in your mind, but certainly never take it to the public platform and do it in that way either. It's just very disrespectful, and the spirit world that we know and that we work with are full of love, encouragement, abundance. They're there to support us. It's a support network. So never blame the spirit world for anything at all. Another one that we see here on the list is never swear. Never ever swear. Now, I don't see it in the spiritual churches or the centres that I'm working. It is on very rare occasions. But then what happens is that the individual will get a little bit of momentum, they'll get a little bit of popularity, and they'll start hiring venues for themselves. They will start hiring halls or theatres, etc., etc. You can see where I'm going. But then what happens is they become a little bit too complacent or a little bit too comfortable, and the rules and regs are not so restricted in a public hiring of a hall as it is in a spiritual church. And therefore they kind of think that the rules and regulations just dissolve in some way. So you will see a lot looser terminology where they might have a gentleman that swears quite a lot here in the physical world. I don't need to be repeating the words that he would have been saying. There is a presentation, there is a packaging of that information where we can deliver it, where the audience knows what it is that we're trying to say without actually saying it. So never disrespect your team or the spirit world or spirituality just in the banner by going out and being very loose with swear words. Another one on the list is prediction, and it's far too obvious that it's out there too much at the moment. It's not the spirit world. The spirit world will not predict, and they will not tell you the lottery numbers, and they will not tell you to leave the man or the woman. Never predict. Always keep it as communication. If we're showing the intelligence and we're presenting it and we're bringing back the story of the loved one that we have lost, there is no need for the prediction there. It's mediumship, it's on a mediumship platform, therefore prediction has no place. So just don't predict. Next one on the list is going home with a bag full of questions that were unanswered or statements that we didn't know the answer to. So try and be quite mindful that you don't want to be leaving every recipient with a bag full of questions they've got to go away and ask their mum or their brother or their mate. If it happens, then we need to professionally understand why is that happening, what's going on there, because we don't want every person. So if I'm doing 7 communications in an evening, I do not want to send those 7 people away with a bag full of questions they've got to ask their relatives if I was correct. And it's just one of those that will look weak, and you really won't gain the reputation that you're looking for to be a quality medium. Next one on the list is asking questions. How many times have you been to a demonstration where question after question after question is being asked? And you know yourself that mediums shouldn't be asking questions. It should be statements. So I always used a very lame example, I appreciate. Did he smoke? Did he smoke is a question when you know he smoked, so it's best to do it as a statement. I know that this gentleman smoked. I know that your dad smoked. I know that your brother smoked. And that way you are making it a statement. It shows that you're confident in the information that you're receiving, and you're not asking question after question after question. Last one for the list right now is that you are a medium, not a comedian. And a lot of people take this centre stage as an allowance to go on and disrespect everyone, try and crack jokes, trying to get people to laugh with them, and usually it comes out wrong. When people have got the humour within their personality, it will come out naturally. But remember the job that you're doing. You are an ambassador for the spirit world in that given moment. So remember that you've got to keep it respectful, not only for the spirit world, but also for the audience, because not everyone will find the joke funny. In a lot of the centres or churches or even these private venues, you will have a lot of age difference. You might have some teenagers within there, right the way through to 70, 80, 90-year-olds. Their humour will be completely different. Their upbringing, their stories are completely different. And we have to go out as a blanket banner for the spirit world. So don't try to be funny. Just keep it professional, and your natural personality will come out over time. That's all for now, so thank you for watching this video on going out into the public arena as a demonstrator of mediumship. I am Charlie Kelly, and this has been Masterclass.